ask that everyone is able to take a knee, please. We have silence, please, in the room. Yahweh, our Father, our King, our Master, our Deliverer, holy and righteous art thou, Yah, Master and ruler over all creation, possessor and controller over all souls. You are the power in which we invoke this day, O Yah. You are the strength in which we serve. You are the King that we prostrate and humble ourselves before. O great Jehovah, turn not thy ear from hearing our prayers. Forgive us of our sin for the many times that we have walked and lived this life in ignorance. We have lived a very long time, Yah, and we have not given any thought to what it was that you required of us. We lived in darkness. Gross darkness overshadowed our minds. Immense darkness controlled our soul and our flesh. But in all of that, you have saw fit to have mercy upon our souls. And you have raised us up, and you have taught us about yourself and who we are. You have given us the opportunity to change our future from death to life because of your sure mercies that you have extended upon us through the hearing of your word, through another servant of yours. We are here because of your blessings. Therefore, great King, we honor, we worship, and we serve, and we prostrate ourselves before thee always, continuously, without ceasing. We dedicate our very existence unto you, Heavenly Father, the power over all the earth. We give you all that we are. We are sorry for the many times that we have walked against your commands. We are sorry for all the time before you had opened our eyes and we lived in ignorance. We are sorry, Yah. And we're here this day to recommit ourselves unto you, to learn more about you, how to worship you, and put aside the differences that we have in our minds with our brothers and our teachers and our leaders, and just present ourselves as an offering before you to do your will in this earth as you see fit to raise up this great nation in your time and in your way. We salute you, O Father. We humble ourselves before thee, O Father. We worship thee. We magnify and glorify thy holy name. We only ask that you do not turn away your great love and protection and blessings from us. We ask that you continue to have mercy upon our souls and the souls of our children for 100,000,000 generations to come. Guide us, protect us. Love us, strengthen us, and bless us, Yah. Thank you for not allowing us to be blinded by the idolatry that plagues this earth in this day, Yah. Thank you for saving our souls, for allowing us to be first to rise up and give you your praise. Thank you, O Heavenly Father, for protecting us as you have unto this day. We only ask that you continue with your blessings. We ask that you continue with your mercy and your love that you have been extending unto us all. Please, Creator, please continue to extend those blessings. Teach us also, Yah. Teach us also to love. Teach us to love in the true meaning of love. How to extend love one toward another with you in mind, with the right intentions, not selfish reasons, O great King. Teach us to not walk with a proud mind and extend our authority over those who you have placed underneath of us foolishly. Teach us, Yah, to rise to this great cause that you have made us to be, your light in this earth, to bring forth your spirit and your salvation to those who are lost and dead and destroyed. Bless us, O great King. Send down the spirits from the heavens above that we need to possess our souls, to raise us up mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, emotionally, and in every way necessary to teach righteousness to this destitute planet. Please, Yah, continue to extend your love and bless us all. We ask, O great King, that you love and protect those of us who are not here as of yet on this day. Bless them where they are and bring them here safely. We ask, O great King, that you love and protect those of us who have chosen to remain home or to visit to other Knesset. Bless them as well. O great King, we ask that you bless, protect, love, and strengthen Yisrael in the four corners of the earth. Guide them all home, Yah. Open their minds and turn them all in the direction of you in service and in worship, in holiness. And teach us to separate ourselves from the unclean. Teach us, Yah, to put a difference between the clean and the unclean, the holy and the profane. Unto you, Yahweh, Yahweh Zevaot, unto thee we pray. Unto thee we submit ourselves this day, for thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. And we all say, Todah Yahweh. Shabbat Shalom, Kol Yisrael. So happy to be here today. It's been a long time since I have been in your presence to try to extend to you the teachings of the Most High and what He has placed on my mind in this life that we live in. I greet you all in the name of peace, in the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Zevaot, our King and our Master. And as we all know, there's a time when all false things must perish and righteousness shall prevail throughout the earth. Now, today, as they say, is the first day of the rest of your life. And whatever it may have been that you have done previously in your life, in your days, before being here on this day, Yah has extended to you mercy. The Creator has given to you the opportunity to be forgiven of your sins. No matter how harsh, no matter how severe, no matter how small, the Most Holy One has extended to you His blessings. I would like to begin reading in Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, 32nd verse. Are all minds free? Ezekiel, the 18th chapter, 32nd verse. And this is what it reads. It says, For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith Jehovah Elohim. Wherefore turn yourselves and live. The Most Holy One says to us that He has no pleasure in the death of a man. But yet we have many people who walk around thinking that the death of a certain individual have saved them and cleansed them from their sins. We have many people that believe that they have to go out and destroy their souls, their flesh, their bodies, to be a sacrifice so that someone else can live. The Most High says that the death of an individual brings Him no pleasure. He also extends that death unto each and every one of us. Because in choosing to do evil, you choose death. If you choose to continue to walk your life in disobedience to the laws of the great King, you're choosing death. Yah says that he wished that a man would live and not die. Ezekiel 18:20. The Most High says, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. See, by choosing sin, you choose death. And the soul that chooses to sin, that soul shall die. It shall perish. He says, the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father. No man can carry your sin. Neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. No man shall be put to death for the sin of someone else. The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. So any man it is that deliberately defiles the laws of the Most High, he shall die. Any man. And don't allow the people to fool you with their stories that a man can die for your sin and be hung on a cross and take on the sins of the world. Because the Most Holy One, the Creator of heaven and earth, have said, the son should not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son. If that man did righteous, that man shall live in righteousness, and he shall die for what he has done. And if this man have lived evil, then he shall die for his own evil, not the evil that someone else has done. He goes on and say, but if the wicked man, and that's every one of us, at one time in our lives, this has been every one of us. We have been this wicked man. But if the wicked man will turn from all his sin, not just the ones that he chooses to do, because Yah judges your heart or your mind, your intentions, the pure things about you that you cannot cover up and camouflage. See, you can come before me and lie and say, Moray, I'm with you. I'm walking with you wholeheartedly. But beyond my back, you can do all types of things. See, Yah knows what I can't see. The Most High understands. You can stand here and salute the King and say, Todah Yehovah, Most High, I give my soul over to you. But he truly knows what you're really feeling deep down inside and what you're holding back. Because he is the King. No. He's not the King like you or I, or like any of us could ever be. He is the supreme knower and creator of all the universe. And everything that's in it and everything that's outside of it. He is the one who has made all that, and he didn't have any partners. Did it by himself. That's how great he is. So when you bow down and you present yourself and you speak to him, you keep all that in mind. Because he's not the president. The president is not worthy to untie the Most High's shoes. He's no man. He has created all flesh. So what I say by this is that he knows the intentions of your soul. You can't fool the Most High. So when you present yourself to him and you say, Most High, I beg that you remove my sin from me, you better mean it. Because if you don't, he knows. And he just may multiply all that sin against you. So when you decide to change your life for this King, you have to be real. And you have to come with a pure heart and a pure mind and give all that you have and change from your sin and do all that he has commanded for you to do. Well, you like shrimp. If the Most High has said that shrimp is unclean, this is something that you should not eat, then it's best that you separate yourself from that shrimp. If the Most High says that adultery is something that you should not do, then it's best that you separate yourself from adultery. If the Most High says honor your father and your mother, then you honor your father and your mother. We can't worship this King halfway. It's either all or nothing. That's how he plays, because he's real. But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. Does that mean that one day this person won't die? No, it doesn't. It means that his soul will not see corruption. My son asked a question in class the other day. It was a very good question. I was outside on the porch listening. He says, why would the Creator trick Adam and Eve and put the tree of garden in the Garden of Eden if he knew that everybody was going to die anyway? Well, that kind of reflects to what the Most High is saying here. He says, if a man shall not sin, he shall not die. That doesn't mean that we won't see a physical death. For all things in creation in one way, shape, or form that is of substance will see a physical change. Yah says, beware, do not beware of him that can destroy what we have right here in our presence. This type of stuff right here, this what they call carnal stuff. But beware of him, because he has the power to destroy the soul of a man. We understand that? The Most High has the power to destroy you so that you will never return, so that you can never see any life extended in any form after what you have right here. And the worst thing about it is that sometimes the Most High says, I'm going to punish you right now. And he'll cut your legs off. And you'll walk the earth, and you won't walk the earth, but you'll push yourself around in a wheelchair. Or he'll give you some kind of illness or sickness that starts out in the bottom of your feet and moves up through your legs and runs through your groin or your private parts and finds its way up to your heart. And it might take 20 years for that sickness to fully blossom till you croak or crawl over and die. But within that 20 years, your body is steadily, consistently falling apart. You break out with big boils on your legs. You feel excruciating pain all through, and you walk, you got to drag your leg because it's basically dead. Big bumps break out on your body, big blisters and sores, and they run with blood. See, you can't imagine the kind of power that the Most High does. The things that he extends to those who refuse to bow down and submit to him. Because if he wants you, and you're a part of this plan, and you refuse to walk in the ways that he has for you to walk, this is what he'll do to you. This is one of the things that the Most Holy One may do to you to try to get you to say, Yah, I'm sorry. That's all he want to hear. I'm sorry. But mean it and change from your evil ways. I'm sorry, Yah. How hard is that for a man to go before the Creator of all things and say, I have sinned. I'm sorry. And begin from that day forward to change our lives, to change our existence, to change our mind frame and our way of thinking. Because the way we think today shows the signs of a sick man. Our thinking pattern shows the signs of a sick man. Very sick individual. And that sickness is extended on to us because of how we grew up, where we come from, the background in our history that has made us what we are today has poisoned us. We are so far away from righteousness. If a righteous man stood in our midst, we wouldn't understand it. We wouldn't even be able to accept it. If a man came here and gave us true love, it would sound like he hated us. You understand what I mean? Because if I truly love you, I have to express to you what you're doing wrong so that you can get yourself right. And because this world has given us the illusion that people who tell you bad things about yourself is trying to hurt you. That's what we accept. That's what we believe. And people that tell us good things, you know, to cover up the bad things so you never change, we think that those are our friends. We actually think that those are the people that love us because they talk good to us, because they hold good conversations, and every time we see them, they got something pleasant to say to us instead of revealing to us our skirt so we can change from our evil ways and get right with this king. The ones who tell us the good things we love. He is so nice to me. She is so pleasant. She calls me every morning and makes sure I make prayer. And she told me to wake up Jimmy. And the next day she told me to wake up John. And the next day she told me to wake up Bill. She knew I had all these different men in my life, but she just called me every day to make sure I weighed prayer. But did she ever expose to you about the adultery that you're committing? The abominations that you are causing yourself to live in sin before this great king? And you got the nerves to get out of a bed with a different man and praise him with those same lips? Come on, Israel. We have to get it together. We have to get it together. We have to understand what this is about. And this is about us totally separating ourselves from all forms of sin. Totally. Not some. All. In order for us to be right, we have to live right. We have to recondition our minds so that we can walk right. Sure, we'll fall. We'll slip along the way. But a slip means that it was an accident. A fall on your own accord was intentionally. And those are the things that Yah will judge us most for. The falls that we intentionally cause upon our souls. Yah doesn't make us to sin, KJ. Sin is an option. Many of us choose to sin. And Adam and Hava, they chose to sin. And now Yah have extended that mercy to us. And he have said to you and the rest of Israel, will you serve me? Will you come before me and present yourself to me? Will you live the life that I have for you? Because all I have in my mind for you is good and not evil. All I have in my mind for you, Israel, is righteousness, blessings, protection, and love. And nobody can love more than the Father. No one. No man could ever extend love to another individual like the Father can, to anyone and anything. Let me show you how the Most High, how magnificent he is. And you tell me any man that you know that ever walked the earth, that ever even made this claim. The Most High watches over our lives. Now there's approximately 60 billion people on the earth. And he watches over everyone's life simultaneously at the same time. All the birds, all the trees, all the blades of grass, all the animals, all the little snails, even the fish in the sea, the ants, all the things that you see and you want to kill it. The Most High makes sure it gets its food, make sure it gets its shelter, make sure it survives for the extended time of its life that is due to it. Yah does all those things, and guess what? He never takes his attention off of you. What man have you ever known that had power or strength or even knowledge to be able to do just those little things all at the same time? All at the same time. This is how powerful he is. He did all these things at the same time, and he's still doing it. And he's been doing it since the beginning of creation. That's how awesome he is. And all he wants for us is to give back ourselves as a sacrifice, to help someone else to rise, to learn about him, to change their lives from living evil. And what do? We can't give him that. But we're steadily coming before him, expecting him to do things for us. Well, I got to get my gas paid, my electric paid, my bills got to get paid. I need this done, I need that done. I'm sick. My leg got this sickness in it. I need you to help me, Yah. Can you heal my body? Can you save my mother? Can you help my child? And all he says to you is, be ye holy, for I am holy. And what do? Everything except purify our minds. Because that's what it means to be holy. Separate yourself from all the unclean things in life and live right before Yah. Purify your mind. Today's class is on a purification process. And one of the things that we need to try to purify ourselves from. And it's one of the evils that has plagued our minds plagued our bodies, and it has infected us. And we need to have it cleansed out of us. It's the general purpose or the general ideal of what is the foundation of this life as they have given it to us. Society, the ones who are in control of society, has given to us their ideal of what life should be. And we have gladly accepted it. We've been here in this captivity for so long, we have actually begun to live like our oppressors. We began to live like them. We began to think like them. We have become our oppressors in this captivity. There is no distinguishing features besides us and them. None. We eat what they eat. We live where they live. And if we do live right in their neighborhood, we think we're better than those who don't. Our minds are sick. Sick for the white man's dream. Because that's what we have decided is best for us. His dream. His world. And we don't do anything to bring forth the glory of Yah in this earth. And it's time that we stop being selfish, stop thinking of ourselves, and start thinking of what the Creator has for us to do. It's either now or never, Israel. It's now or never. We have to get this message out to everybody we know. Come, learn about this King. We have to extend this message to everybody in the earth of the praises that's due to this King. Because if we don't, we're lost. And if we don't, we're sinning. Because sin means that you're going against what the Most High has for you to do. Is that right? I can't hear nobody. Is that right? Well, what is it that the Most High has for Israel to do except be a light? What does it mean to be a light? It means to release people from darkness. It means to go amongst the dark and shine and illuminate and spread forth knowledge. And if you're not doing that and you consider yourselves to be an Israelite, then you're not doing what Yah requires of you. Therefore, you are sinning. Do we all understand that? Nobody understands. Am I by myself today? I can't hear you, Israel. Am I by myself today? But why do I see such long faces as if what I'm saying is surprising? We all know that we're sinning. We all know that we're living in ignorance. The hard part is for us to admit it. For us to stand up and say, I am a sinner. Creator, I want to change. We are so busy trying to throw the blame to everybody else that we do what we forget to do what that heathen Michael Jackson said and look at the man in the mirror. Because that's where it starts, right there, with every one of us. This is where it starts. There's no one here that's perfect. None of us. None of us. And all of us are very far from perfection. We all sin. Some of us do a lot less than others. Some of us may not willingly do what some people just may do and just say, I'll go ask the Creator to forgive me after I'm done. Some of us love the Most High more. Some of us respect the Most High to a higher degree. Some of us really care about what the Most High will say about us or do to us for our deliberate sin. And then some of us don't. Some of us take chances. Some of us like to gamble with our lives. The Most High says that there's a way for a wicked man to live. And that way is to turn from his sin, to seek his face, to humble himself, to pray, and to change from his evil ways. This is what the Most High says must be done by any man that wants to change his life. This place is open at all times for anyone who wants to come and learn about this King. Brother Adon Malachi is here basically almost all the time, every day, studying, reading, writing, understanding the laws of the Most High, allowing the Spirit of Yah to come upon him. What are you saying, Moray? This is what I'm saying. If I'm a man and I know that I'm an Israelite, I come to Shabbat class and I leave. I go home. I do whatever I got to do throughout the week. I do my work. I be with my family, you know. I might watch some movies, play some games, go out, play some basketball. I might be on a softball league where I go play softball on Wednesday, Thursday nights, and on a checker club or the chess club on Monday night. And I'm doing all kind of things. And then the Shabbat roll back around, and I'm back in Shabbat class, worshiping the Almighty. Shalom, shalom to my brothers. What's wrong with that picture? And what I mean is, that's exactly what that man does. What's wrong with that picture? That man's living a good life, ain't he? He's enjoying life. He got a job. He get to play basketball, baseball, checkers. He get to be with his women. He get to be with his children. What's wrong with that life? Because that's the Israelite of today. Is that King? Maybe he's not spending enough time reading the Torah, reading the scriptures. Which one of us wouldn't want to change places with that man? We all would like that life, wouldn't we? To be able to come here on a Shabbat day, sit here for 8-9 hours and roll out and never have to do anything else until next Shabbat day. The Most High has a word. It's avod, meleket. And meleket means to work. In the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter, I believe it's the 8th verse. We turn there, please. The Most High says, remember the Shabbat day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou moleket, and do all thy avodah, all thy work. 6 days shall thou work and do all thy work. Basically, that's what it says in the Hebrew. It says, 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy avodah. 6 days shall thou moleket and do all thou avodah. 2 forms of work. 6 days, the Most High says that this should continue. Okay? The Most High is really telling us that even after the Shabbat day, our praise, our worship, or our moleket, which is the same thing, it's the same word, shall never cease. Shall never cease. We should worship Yah 24 hours a day. We should worship him in every way possible, even with our jobs. Our lifestyle should reflect a Hebrew Israelite servant of the Most Holy One. Our dress, the clothes we wear 24 hours a day should reflect a servant of Yah. The foods we eat, you know, these things all should reflect servants of the Most High. You know, you get invited to your family house, they should already know that they got to put aside certain things just for you. They should already know these things. If they, unless they're living as you live, which very few of us have that privilege of our entire family living a lifestyle that the Most High has set up. People in your job should already know you don't eat what they eat. You can't just go out whenever they go out and do whatever they do. So when the girl on the job is having a, what they call those things, the things where they had the guy come in and do all kind of stuff, she already know not to give you an invitation. She wouldn't even insult you by asking you. And the man on your job should know the same thing about you, men. Oh, that's not King Ezra. He one of them Hebrew Israelite guys, man. They won't even come to nothing like this. They should know that about us, that we are different than them. Our lifestyles are different than their lifestyles. We serve a king that they know nothing of. We serve a power and has given ourselves to that power to be his obedient servants. That they have no idea who he is. They busy worshiping a man that died on a stick. Not worshiping the true source of power, Jehovah Zivao, who never dies, never been born, never can cease to exist. They have no imagination of how powerful this king is. They cannot fathom this in their wildest dreams. So they make up something for us to take our attentions off the true power and divert it to someone else. And what do? We happily go along with the program and submit ourselves to that type of a strength, a God that is not our God, a strength that has no strength. For if he had strength, he would have got himself off the stick. If he had might, he would have saved his own life. I know a man, his name was Eliyahu. Matter of fact, I believe this was Elisha. No, it was Eliyahu. Well, I'll find out for you. But he was a man, he was a servant of the Most High. He had one of his young men with him. And the king of Israel, another nation, sent for him to come get him because he spoke the words of the Most High against that king. And the king sent out 50 soldiers, 50 to come and get this one man because they knew he was a man of the Most High. 50 soldiers they sent to come get him. And this young man, this one man, sat on the mountains, on a hill, as the army surrounded him. He sat there. He wasn't afraid because he knew who he served. These men came up to him. They walk up to him. So the king requires your presence. And this man of the Most High knew that they wanted to kill him. He said a couple words. He said nothing to that man. His enemies came out to take his life. Like the other guy that was in the woods, wherever he was at the sepulchre thing, his enemies came to take his life. Well, when the servant of the Most High came, his life was being threatened. He spoke about 10 words to the Most High. It was all over. No more enemies. What did he say? He says, if I be a man of the Most High, then allow fire to come down from heaven and consume these 50 men. When he finished talking, he turned around and walked away. And guess what happened? He smelt the smoke. The fire came down from heaven, and it dropped down so hot, burned every one of the men up. Swoosh! He had no more enemies. But this one that they talk about, supposed to have been the only son of the Most High, they came and took him away, grabbed him up. He was just there praying, asking, can this pass by me? Which means that he didn't want this to happen to him. If he truly had some strength, he would have did what the Most High servant did years before he was even born. Turn around and challenge the Most High to deliver him from the hands of his enemies. He said, if I be a servant of the Most High, then allow fire to come from the sky and consume these 50 men. And he turned right around and walked away. And fire fell from the sky and burnt them all alive. Guess what? The king of Israel didn't believe that. I believe this was King Ahaz, and I believe this is in the 2 Kings 20th. Where? Ahab. 2 Kings. I'll find it for you. I hate when I do that. I can't remember where something at. It don't happen too often, but it happens. So I'm saying all this to show you this. The wicked king, he heard the news of what happened, but he was a non-believer, just like many people today. So what did the wicked king do? Wicked king rolled up his sleeves. He said, I want 50 more men to go out and get that man of God. Bring him back here to me. So 50 more men got up enough heart. They walk up to this servant of the Most High, and they say to the servant of the Most High, the king requires your presence. You come with us. And the servant of the Most High turned, he looked, he said, if I be a man of the Most High, then allow fire to come down from the sky and consume you and your men. And guess what? Fire fell. He didn't do it once, he did it twice. So it wasn't a mistake. Well, the next time the king heard that news, the king got wise. And the next servant that came out to get that prophet of the Most High, he got smart. He came out, he said, he bowed down on the ground and prostrated himself. And he said, I know that you be a servant of the Most High. Let my life be precious in thy sight. He begged and pleaded for his life before he asked the servant of the Most High to come with him. And the Most High said, go. And that servant went. But as long as these enemies come up to you thinking that they tough, that they got the power over this king, they got something in store for them. Because nobody's stronger than El Shaddai. Nobody is stronger than the Most High. Israel, we have to learn to put our trust in the Most High for all things, not some things, everything. We have to go to the Father for everything before we take matters in our own hands. Because once we take matters in our own hands, although it may look good, doesn't mean that it's good. Sometimes you might make a good decision, but it's best that you go before the Most High. And if he doesn't give you an answer and you feel like you still want to do what you want to do, at least you gave him the opportunity to do something to you. You understand? And if you're a patient man, wait on Yah. Don't move. If he doesn't give you a sign or an answer, don't move. Be patient and wait on the Most High. KJ, that doesn't happen. So I thank you all for allowing me to speak thus far. That was a little words of encouragement to allow us to understand the type of power that we're dealing with. The creator we serve is the creator that everybody else try to imitate or duplicate and make into a form that they want him to be in. You ever seen a picture of the white man's God? Oh, I mean the Caucasian's God. He looked like the Caucasians, don't he? He got long blonde hair with blue eyes, pretty little white skin, or yellow skin, look like leprosy. But we don't know it, do we? Leprosy turns the skin yellow, and leprosy is a disease, a curse that the Most High gives upon people. And when a man with leprosy, his whole body is covered and he looks like an albino, he's considered to be a clean leper. Well, that's what they look like, a man with a disease. But we want to be just like them. We out getting our blind wigs, getting our green contacts. We're trying to imitate a disease and don't even know it. Am I lying? How many of our sisters do we see on the streets today that walk around with the red wigs? Yes. Trying to imitate our oppressors, not knowing that our oppressors is not worth imitating, because our oppressors is a form of a degeneration. What does that mean? Of a lesser generation. What does that mean? It means that Israel are the sons and daughters of the Most High. That means that we are next in line to rule. So if we are next in line to rule, that means that we are the royal family. That means that we are the Most High's chosen. Not the one that looks like Peter or Tom or Billy. Not them. Little do you know that they're trying to imitate you right now in Israel. Go down South Philly where they live at, or in the Northeast, or anywhere where they live. Look at their children. They walk with their pants hanging down, looking silly like our little silly people. You listen to the music that they're listening to. They're listening to rap music, soul, hip-hop. A lot of them have left alone that hard rock. Many of them don't even like it anymore. Because the Most High said, Israel, if you don't serve me, then I'll curse you. I'll curse your mind. I'll curse your inhabitants, your habitations, and everything. And we are surely living under a curse. Anytime we walk around with our pants hanging down, our butt hanging out, you know, that shows signs of a curse. Something is seriously wrong with us. Seriously. Anytime we stand on the corner all day and all night doing nothing, selling drugs, talking, shooting crap, drinking beer, that is our hangout. The young man put a job application in for a job at McDonald's. His phone rings. They say, what's his name? Shakur. Is Shakur home? His mother says, yes, Shakur is home. Hold on. She goes out on the porch, look down the street to the corner and says, Shakur, telephone. Shakur runs up the street, gets on the phone. You know how she knew he was there? Because that's where he's at every day. 90% of the day, that's where he is, right there on the corner. And Yah says if we don't serve him, those sicknesses will be upon us. But guess what? He also says if we do serve him, those same diseases and curses that he had threatened to place upon us and that he did will be upon our enemies. Our oppressor will begin to imitate us. And we will begin to rise. Slowly but surely, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Tables are turning. More and more people are waking up to the reality of the Most Holy One. We are leaving alone those people who have died on a stick. We are leaving alone those people in the masjid that serves the rocks. The Hindu people that pray to something that they don't know what it is. Some big fat man with a bald head. The Buddhists. We're leaving alone that stuff, and a lot of people are turning back to Yah. And those curses are being lifted up off of us and placed on our oppressors. That's why their children is imitating us. How we are on our worst mental capability. They're imitating our old ways because the curse is being lifted off of us and placed on them very subtly. And they can't even understand it. Why do you think they're going to school shooting up the whole school? You mean the whole school was teasing one child? Well, that one child, obviously somebody wasn't teasing him because he had partners. He had 3, 4 children was with him. And they all had guns. And they all shot the school up. Killed everybody, the teacher, the principal, and 15 students. And turned the guns on themselves and shot themselves. That's a sick nation. But that's what they're doing. That's nothing new for them because the Romans and the Greeks, they've been killing whole nations of people anyway. Slaughtering people with no regard for life. That's nothing new for them to do. It's just that it's been oppressed for so long. It's been hidden away for so long. It's nothing new. Let's move forward. I've already shown you how the Most High has taken this curse. He's lifted this curse up off of us and placed it upon our adversaries. This is what Yah has done. Let's move forward. All right. Before we begin with the class today, we want to ask if anyone have any questions about anything that they know, they understand, that they would like to ask. Now is the time. Please. Now is the time for question and answers. If you have a question, Emir Say Yehovah, we'll be able to provide you with the answer. We are Kifarim, located 3132 Euclid Avenue, Philadelphia, PA 19121. Telephone number is 215-769-0701. Today's date is July the 19th, 2003. And now is the time for our question and answers. May the Most High bless us and give us understanding.
Shalom.
Shalom.
You were saying that if you don't be out there try to convince people or letting the people know what you into and know about the Most High, then you're sinning. I want to know, so you don't agree with the Most High have like different jobs for different people? Everybody don't have the same job?
Sure, the Most High has different jobs for different people. Of course, he does. But it's everybody's job to be a light. All of Israel's job to be a light to the rest of the nations. My sister, I don't mean for you to be out on the corners shouting with a bullhorn and a book in your arm. That's not what I mean. What I mean by showing people and teaching people is your whole lifestyle. Everything about your lifestyle should be a lesson for someone else to watch, to learn from, and then maybe they'll come to you. Hey, what is it about you? I like what you're doing. Whatever you're doing is just attractive. It does something to me. It pulls me some kind of way. I have a lot of respect for what you're doing. Can you teach me about whatever it is that you're doing? Or another way that you can teach people, my sister, is what do your girlfriends call up with some foolishness? She's outside of the law. She want to chit-chat about somebody else. And you say, well, I hear what you're saying, sister, but I can't allow myself to get involved with that type of negativity. So what I'll have to do is I have to talk to you at another time. See, because you just did something that you may not know that you've done. You've created something in her mind. She may get angry with you and hang up with you, but she'll think about what you said. And if she sees that you have a constant way of diverting negativity from your life, she may want to know what you're doing. And that's another way of teaching. See, it's your whole lifestyle. It's not just the, and the Lord said you're sinning, stop what you're doing. And no, it's your whole lifestyle.
I understand that, but you were just saying, you know, go out there, tell people. That's what I heard you say, and I wanted to clear it up to see what you was actually saying. I understand what you're saying, and that's what I know. You have to, it's not just telling people about the Most High, it's your actions and everything that go along with it. So I just wanted to know what you meant by that. So I agree with that, but I don't agree with I have to go out, see somebody at work, and let them know what I'm about and this and that, and teach them, and like, you know, once you come to class with me and this and that, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's my job. My job is to be a light or whatever, and to do the Most High laws the best of my ability, and if they see what I'm into, they ask me questions, fine, I would answer them, but I'm not going to come out my mouth to somebody that I just don't know, because I don't think the Most High got that for me to do. I don't think that's my job.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, I hear you speaking, right? And I hear you speaking with a lot of hostility in your voice. It may not even be your intentions. The spirit that you have right now may have you balled up inside. You might actually feel, you know, that, you know how you get when you get like somebody did you wrong and you feel that spirit? You may just well be like that right now. Something I want you to hear. Something I need you to hear. There was a lady that asked her husband to teach her how to drive. And her husband took her out and began to teach her how to drive. She went and got her driver's license. And she already had a job. This was her first day of driving to work by herself. She got in the car. She made sure her seatbelt was on. You know, she checked all the mirrors and she looked real carefully. She got out into the traffic. She drove real slow all the way to work. She got to work. She was so happy she made it. She thanked the Creator. You know, she called her husband. I got to work. She told everybody she knew. I got to work today. Today was my first day, and I drove. Well, then came time to go home. She got in the car. She put her seatbelt on. She looked around real careful. She got out in the traffic, and she was driving, and she was so happy. But she was real cautious. Drove real slow, real careful. Somebody was sitting at her next to the light. She rolled out the window and said, "Hi, I'm a new driver. I just started driving today. Today is my first day." She was excited. She was happy. She told everybody she knew. As time went on, she began to drive a lot less cautious. A lot less cautious. 6 months to a year later, she chilling. Got the radio up all loud, one arm on the joint, jamming. 2 years later, she's starting to eat while she driving. No seatbelt, no nothing. She just chilling. Zooming in the road, dipping and diving in the cars, and boom, she gets in an accident. She gets messed up pretty bad. I say all this to say this, my sister, and everybody else in here. I don't care what you think. Neither does the Most High. You say you don't think that's your job. Well, I'll show you in the scriptures where that is your job. It's not about what you think when you come into this way of life, Miriam, because that woman thought she was confident after she had some time under her belt, just like you do, my sister. You feel like you're confident in knowing what your place is in this life, and you don't. You don't know anything about what your job is. You think you know, and you said it right. You think, but I'm not here to think. I'm here to tell you what's required of you, what you must do. And anytime you think you know the answer, you're wrong from the beginning, because you only think. And Yah's word is not a thought tool. It's something that you know. He has said that this is what you're required to do. So that's what you do. If we're going to read this today where Yah says that my mind is not like your mind. My thoughts are not like your thoughts. Just because we think we know because we've been doing this for so long, Yah is here to prove you today, and every one of us, that we don't know nothing, that we are dead wrong. And see, you're thinking again. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying to you, my sister. This is what I'm saying. If I was to instruct you that your job was to go out and speak to everybody and you see, everybody that you see, and I'm telling you out of this book, then that's your job. What you want me to read? Oh, I will prove it to you. And I'm going to show it to you all throughout the course of the day. But what I won't allow to happen right now is the spirit that you have to be extended over here to me. Because that spirit ain't coming over here. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to keep the spirit that the Most High has given me today. And I'm going to direct the class in the path that the Most High has directed it. So if there's a question, my sister, please, Mary.
I'm trying to get understand. You keep saying I got the spirit.
If you feel the same way after the end of the day, Miriam, I ask that you ask that question again. If I haven't answered it for you throughout the course of the day, I ask that you ask it again. And I'll give it very special attention. Because remember, the underlying factor is when the Most High has told for us to do something, we are to obey His voice as opposed to what we think within our own minds. So that's what we plan to accomplish today. Are there any other questions? Are there any other questions?
This is another subject. In the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4-9.
Yes.
Let me get it here. In this particular translation,
Speak into the mic, I can't.
in this particular translation, it says in verse 7, and you must inculcate them in your son, and speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk on the road, and when you lie down, and when you get up, and onward. Now, in the King James, that's another version even. I think it says, King James says, you should inculcate them in your children. Now, what I'm asking is in the Hebrew, does it exactly say sons, or does the word say children?
What's the difference between sons and children in Hebrew?
Well,
All right. Let me
Baneh.
teach. Let me teach.
Okay.
Are we paying attention? In Hebrew, it's a thing called grammar, or dikduk. There's a law in dikduk that says that if there's one man present amongst 50 million women, when you address that crowd of people, you address them in the masculine gender. Okay? Now we know that there are children that are men amongst the children of Israel. So whenever they would say children in Hebrew, they will use the masculine term to represent children. And the word is Bain. Bain Yisrael Benai, which means children of me, my children. Benai Yisrael. So almost equivalently, every time you see the word children throughout the Torah, it should say Bain.
So this translation in this place is correct.
What does it say?
You must inculcate them in your son.
No.
No.
No. It says son, S-O-N?
Yeah, singular.
No, it shouldn't. Let me see what it says. Deuteronomy 6 and 9?
6 and 7.
7. Rishanatam Lebanika with a deed bata. And what's that saying is your sons, your son, but it's talking in the plural. It's talking about the whole nation of Israel. This is speaking in the singular because it's only talking to each and every individual. But he means all of your children as a whole. If they wanted to translate it as son, it would be fine. It would be fine to translate as son as the way that they have it. But if the expression that the Most High is trying to use would be plural, speaking about all of your children to everybody, not just your child. So, I mean, there's really not a problem with the way that they did it. I wouldn't have did it that way. If I had to do it, it would have been done a different way. But that's the way that they chose to do it, so I would have to say that it's fine. The word here is, let me find it again. Levanika. Levanika, which means to or on your son. No, it is plural. See, because the word vishanantam is plural. On you all, okay? It's your impression. You shall impress upon them, meaning all of them. And who is the them? Lebanika, your sons. So it shouldn't be translated that way as just singular son. It should be translated as sons in plural.
Right. The understanding is that this is collective, the nation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Does
Thank
that make any difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine, thank you.
Toda Rabah. Are there any other questions? No other questions? All right, we'll go into the lesson that we have prepared today. And the lesson for today, Shabbat Kitah, is about money. Money. Money is something that we all like to have. And again, our lesson for today is about money. And money is what they call the root of all evil. What we'll do for wealth. What we'll do to obtain money. Some of the things that we do, what we normally do, if we had that wealth already. KJ. This subject is something that a lot of us probably paid a lot less attention to. It probably wasn't as serious to us or as severe. But it's something that needs to be really understood. What we do for wealth. We have allowed ourselves to become, from our youth, programmed to believe in the power of money. It has proven to be our downfall. Not the money itself, but what we do to obtain it has brought disgrace and shame upon ourselves. A lot of our young brothers, even a lot of our older brothers, will go out into the streets and begin to sell drugs, poisoning each other. And what is all that done for? It's done for money. A lot of our sisters will begin to do things with their bodies. They would go out and do types of dances for people that's going to pay them money. Or go out into the corners and prostitute themselves, disgrace themselves, bring shame upon themselves for money. Now, it's not the money itself that's the problem. It's what the ideal of obtaining this money, that's what's wrong. That's what brings the sickness into our minds. What we will actually do to obtain this form of power, money. Many of us are very selfish with our monies. We don't want to share. We don't want to help anyone else to become a better person or a better individual. I don't like to have to stop sometimes when I'm trying to get a lesson across. It's very disturbing to have to stop and allow people to talk in the back of the room that's not paying attention to the lessons or feel like something else in here is more important than hearing the words of the Almighty. Then you might as well not come. If that's how you're going to live, that's how you're going to treat class, then don't come to class. Stay home. When you come here, it's about learning the words of the Most High. It's about hearing His words. It's about giving Him your full attention. Because this message may just be for you. Or it may be for somebody that you might know. Or somebody that you can relay it to. But if your minds and your ears are somewhere else, then you'll miss the lesson. And you won't be able to do your job as a servant to relay that message to someone else. So it's very important when we're here on the Shabbat day that you don't allow anything to distract you, to take you away from what this message is about. Kashet Yah, can you put that gum in the trash, please? Thank you. Focus, Israel. Please focus. I'm not just here to just talk or to entertain you. I'm here to do a job that the Most High has given me to do, and that's to raise your minds to a higher level. That's my job, whether you agree with it or not. That's my job. And I'm here to do my job if you will allow me to. I may say a lot of things today or do a lot of things today that you disagree with. It's okay, though. All I need is your attention. Please. As I was speaking, it's not the money itself, but it's what we will do to obtain money. It's how we will bring shame upon ourselves and shame upon our families to obtain physical strength or physical power or physical wealth. because basically all three of those things are the same thing. For example, power means that you have the strength to go out and get something that you want done accomplished. That's what power means. The Almighty, who has all the power, has all the strength to get whatever it is that he wants from anybody. So he does what he chooses to do. Well, when we have monetary monies, we have a small form of power. The more money you got, the more power you got, meaning that you can pay people to do whatever you need people to do. So we are really trying to obtain these things because we want power. Power to do what? Power to go buy what I want to buy, to eat what I want to eat, to drive what I want to drive, to go where I want to go, to live like I want to live. So what we do is we go out and we obtain this money. But our minds are wrong. Our thinking has been turned around. And the power that we're trying to obtain is evil. The monies, the purpose in which we're trying to get this wealth is selfishness. Our whole physical understanding of wealth comes with a selfish aspect behind it. It's about me. I want to get money so I can look good. 9 times out of 10 when I go shopping, it's for me. So I can get for me. Our understanding of this is not the understanding that the Most High has intended for us to have. The understanding that the Most High has for us to have is for me conclusive, everyone. And for a long time we lived not really understanding what we were living for. I pray that after today we will have a greater understanding of what life is for. And it's not all about me. You understand? It's not all about me. If we were to ride, pick up and just take a drive, just about any neighborhood where our people live, we will see how bad the programming has become in our mentability, our mental state. We will see our people standing on the corner selling drugs, prostituting themselves. We're the first one to fill the malls early in the stores, and we come home with a bunch of bags. We're the first ones to spend our wealth on anything and everything except the things that we need. We're the first ones. And we don't have anything in our own communities for ourselves. We're right here in North Philadelphia. How many black-owned stores do we have just in this general facility? Maybe one? Now let's extend that out to the whole North Philadelphia region. How many black-owned stores do we have as big as North Philadelphia is itself? Maybe 3 or 4. And then if you extend that out to Philadelphia itself, with all the people within the city of Philadelphia, just how many black businesses do we have within our own neighborhoods where some of our monies can go to help our own people? And it's because our thinking pattern is not right. Go down in Puerto Rico, down in Frankfurt, where the Puerto Ricans live. How many Puerto Ricans do you see down there with their own businesses, servicing their own people? A lot of them. Go down Chinatown, where the Chinese live. How many businesses down there you see in Chinatown that's not owned by Chinese people? Not too many. Most of those businesses right down there in Chinatown, if not all of them, and they won't even allow you to open up. They'll burn your building down before they will allow you to come down there and disgrace their people just by your presence alone, because you're not of them. But we're so busy in our state of thinking, in our lowest state. We are so busy taking all of our resources, making everybody else rich. Running back to all these places to buy this name brand this, name brand that. On the average day, any of us, how we dress. We done just made FUBU, Gucci, Calvin Klein. What's the rest of them? You know them all. I don't know them all because it's been so long now. But I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm speaking of. We're so busy making them rich that we forgot about the values of life. We forgot the true essence and the purpose and what we were made for. Because we've been in this captivity for so long, we have become like those who have oppressed us for so long. We have taken hold onto their ideals. Now our sisters are so concerned with looking good, all they do is get their hair done to imitate the Europeans. They imitate them. They want to imitate the eyes, the hair, some of them even wear get the breast implants like the European women do, the rectal implants like the European women do, because we are trying to imitate our oppressors. We have come so indoctrined with their lifestyle and their way of living that we have separated ourselves from what the Most High had established for us to look like. Wearing righteous garments, holy garments. Yah says for us to wear fringes on the end of our garments. How many of us just in this little kitab, how many Israelites wear their fringes every day? Without question. We get up in the morning, this is like we brush our teeth every day, don't we? I bet you we comb our hair every day, don't we? I bet you we real careful about the clothes we put on every day, ain't we? We make sure that this matches that. Now, I don't wear no lime green shoes with a purple shirt. You know, I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to wear no plaid pants and a plaid shirt that's two different color plaids. I ain't going to do that. And then wear some green shoes because I want to look good. I ain't going to go out the house with my hair all messed up. I'm going to straighten it up before I walk out the door. All this is being said to cause you to see how much attention you pay to your physical self, but in the wrong way. If you paid that much attention to make sure that everything that Yah has required for your life was in order, we will be a lot further in life than we are today. But we make sure that the things that this world has required for us, that we look good, we got our makeup on, we got our blush, we got our extensions in our hair all the way down to our booty. A lot of men, we get up in the mirror and we make sure our hair is brushed nice and cool, that our beards are combed real petite, that our clothes is pressed and ironed. Do we take the time to make sure that they're 100% raw fibers like the Most High has required of us? Do we take the time to make sure that these things are acceptable to the King? How many of us do this? Many of us, we want to look so good for the oppressor that we go get our hair cut, shaped up real nice, shape our beards up, and then say, Yah will understand. It's all about an illusion. It's all about a false impression of life, a false impression of a quality of life that we're living. And we have all fallen victim to this from our youth up. Right now, our women are so busy, and I'm not just speaking about women here, I'm speaking about women in society. And men, as that's concerned, we're so busy with trying to impress others that we forget about the Most High. We forget about impressing the Most High. If we were to take some of that energy and focus it back onto the things that the Most High has required of us, our lives will be a lot better than they are right now. If we were to be mindful of what pleases the Creator as above what pleases me, what makes me look good, our minds would be a lot better than they are right now. So this is not just about money. This is about the whole American ideal about life in total. Life in total. Everybody wants some security. Everybody. I don't know anybody that doesn't want any type of security. Just want to just have nothing to take care of themselves with. No one. Everybody wants some type of security. But our understanding of security is the wrong type of security. Yah should be our security. We should learn to put our trust in the Most High. and allow him to provide for us. Allow him to give to us all that we need to make it through our lives. As we ride in just about any of our neighborhoods where there are our people, we will see how bad this programming has become. From prostitution to robbing to stealing and drug dealing. All is done to obtain this wealth and this false impression of a better life. Or in other words, a better feeling of self. Because that's what we're in quest of. Everybody wants to feel good about whatever it is that they got on, whatever it is that they're doing, however it is that they live. Like the sister said earlier in the class, I don't think that this is what I have to do. See, this is about how she feels. Everybody wants to feel that this is what's being required of them, or this is acceptable to the general public. I watched a movie once on the Discovery Channel, and it was about how Africans, some African tribes, when they got a certain age, they will go and marry, mate, and when the woman would become pregnant, they would kill a man. He would die, but he would die happily. You know? Well, this society that we come up in, that's a bad thing. That's not good. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because the women in the movie, in the documentary, they all walked around topless. Because in their society, this was not a shameful thing to be exposed. They had a little, like a skirt type, kilt type thing over their vagina area with a little flap across it to cover their private parts. But that may have been just because they was filming the movie, you see? I'm saying this because, not that we should imitate those ways, but this society has not corrupted their mentality to change from what they see as normal. But once you become a part of this society, no matter what you consider to be normal or good living, they change it. They change it. And it's because there's something deep inside of every individual that makes that individual want to be accepted wherever they are. And it's in every one of us. It's almost a low form of self-respect. Almost. For example, if any of us at any given time had to go live in a country where they ate rats, that was the main dish. In less than 5 years, we'll be eating rats. Because it's just in us to naturally want to be accepted by those who are around us. This is why it's so difficult for many of us to keep Yah's laws. Because Yah's laws teaches us about a separation. And many of us don't want to be any different than anybody else. Deep down inside, we don't want to be any different than anybody else around us. We'll say it, we'll act it, but we won't really live it. Because we don't really want to make the sacrifice. Sometimes we like to think that it's about people laughing at us, but it's not. It's just about change. I remember when I was a little child, my mother would say to me, and many of you probably had the same remembrance, we getting ready to move. We're going to move up there to wherever. And I would never want to move. Oh, no, Mom, I don't want to move. I don't want to move from my friends. I want to be. Why? Because we never want change. We want things to remain the same all the time. We never want what the Most High has for us. We want what we want for ourselves, thinking that that's what's best. But Yah's plan is what's best. If Yah brought you into this way of life, it's because he didn't want you worshiping sticks and stones. He didn't want your temple, your body, your temple polluted. Else he would have left you out there with those who pollute themselves. When Yah gave you this knowledge of Yisrael, it's because he wanted to bring to you true salvation. Salvation that would make a difference. Not salvation believed in, but salvation that you can actually see, taste, feel, smell, touch, and know. Not the salvation that they teach out there that somebody can die for your sins and you will never know until the day you die. Not that false impression. The salvation that you can see his glory, his wonders manifested in your life while you're walking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what he has in mind for us. Not evil, but good. Don't think that as soon as you come and you say, yeah, I'm yours, where's my new car? It don't work like that. Well, maybe for some people, but for most people, it doesn't work like that. It takes a lot of work, a lot of sincerity, a lot of earnestly giving up and separating yourself from this world to cause Yah to really manifest upon you. He'll slow walk it and wait until you're really ready. And when you show him that you're ready, when you start off, you'll be in one place. But as you're steadily living, waiting for the blessings, one day you'll stop and you'll sit down and you'll look back at the road and you'll say, what did the Creator do for me? In your ignorance. And when you humble yourself and really look, you'll see all these multitudes of things that the Most High just placed in your life without you even noticing it, without you even realizing it. You know, I like that little picture where it says, well, Lord, I asked you to help me through the sand or something like that, but I see all these footprints and I ain't see you with me. And then the Lord turned around and talked to the person and said, yeah, the footprints you see is mine. You thought they was yours, which means where you are in your life right now, you think that you exerted that strength to get you where you are right now. Wherever you are, but you didn't. The Most High has extended his mercy upon you to bring you to where you are. When you say, well, where am I? You where you didn't used to be. That's where you are. You're where the opposite of where you could have been. Had he not extended that mercy, you could be dead now. Or you could be living in a shelter. Or you could be living on the streets. You know, you could be with some type of sickness or disease. But because he calls you to change your diet, you averted from that sickness. You diverted from it. Because he called you to change your lifestyle meant that on the Shabbat, you was here in class. Whereas if you wouldn't have changed your lifestyle, you'd have been down there on that train, riding that train to go shopping on the Shabbat. And got in a train accident and got killed. Or paralyzed or maimed. We don't see a lot of times the blessings that Yah does for us. Unbeknown to us, the Most High is on the job 24 hours a day. But by doing this lifestyle that he requires of us, oftentimes we say, well, what benefit is it to serve the Creator? Only because of our ignorance, we don't see what he has done for us. So it's best that you thank the Most High all the time. Because a lot of the things, most of the blessings that Yah gives to you, you don't even know about. It's almost like a child who the mother and the father make sure the bills are paid, the refrigerators is full, the heat is on, the electrical is on, the gas is on. The child sees none of the things that it takes to make those things happen. But all those things the parent has to endure to make sure that the child has what it needs. But the child just lives roaming the streets, leave the refrigerator open. When they come home, they eat. When they go upstairs, they turn the light on, sit on their comfortable bed, flip the television on, that they don't even know how they got the television. They don't know what type of work went beyond getting that. All they know is that when they hit that remote, they want that television to come on. And this is how we are with the Most High. Give you a prime example. Right now, every one of us is sitting here in Kitah. Kitah means class. Well, when it's time to leave, we all expect to get up, go home, eat, whatever we need to do, lay down or watch television or whatever. What makes us think that our houses have to be there when we